video and my channel are sponsored by Untap.gg. Want to see how your decks are doing and analyze the metagame? Untap.gg is an add-in that will help you play Magic the Gathering Arena at its best. For example, this is the deck that I'm playing in this video. It wins a lot. I don't think that's actually representative of how good it is, but check it out, it does! If you'd like to check out Untap.gg, you can find it in the description of the video. Hello everybody, and welcome to Brawl Stars! I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today I am playing Tovolar, Dire Overlord. Tovolar is a Werewolves commander who likes wolves and werewolves. Whenever one deals damage to an opponent, combat damage specifically, you draw a card. Excellent! And also, he can force werewolves to transform, meaning that even if you're only playing werewolves from the old Innistrad sets, Tovolar can still help them transform as long as you have 3 or more wolves or werewolves on the battlefield at the start of your turn. So Tovolar is a really great werewolves commander. I would say the best werewolves commander. And we just got a lot more werewolves in Arena because of the introduction of Shadows over Innistrad and the supplemental SIS set. I know this is very strange. If you type S:SIS, yes, the set code for the supplemental cards from Shadows over Innistrad is in fact SIS. So we've had Bro, Sis, Mom, and Sir as recent set codes in Arena. Thanks. Yeah, we're getting Mom for March of the Machine. Very fun. Oops, I accidentally just deleted a card. It's fine, I know which one it was. So, this deck is all about werewolf aggro. You'll notice I have a lot of 1-drops, 2-drops, 3-drops, and then it tapers out to the more powerful cards that really just support this deck. The main things we want to do is give our werewolves haste, make them uncounterable, make them go fast so we can hit our opponents, draw more werewolves, and keep playing them so we can overrun them before they manage to establish their board. So we're going to take our werewolves and we're going to ow in the queue. As a person playing a werewolf deck, the one thing I don't want to see is protection from werewolves, which is exactly what my opponent's commander says. Catilda, she likes humans. She makes them tap for mana. She can put +1/+1 counters on things. But she also has protection from werewolves. Like this one, and this one, and this one. But she doesn't have protection from wolves. So I think we're fine. See, look. It's a wolf, not a werewolf. It's fine. I'm not afraid of humans. No way. We're better. We're better than that because we're werewolves. Mayor of Avabruck or Packsong Pup. Let's get the puppy out. I will. How often is this ability relevant? Not often. Is it relevant right now? Yes, very much so. I'm gonna get this out on red. Gotta play Tovolar. This thing is gonna be like, oh my god, I have a friend! Becomes a 2/2. I don't think they'll block, and we get to draw a card. Guardian Project. Nice. This is some nice creature base to draw. Champion of Lambholt. Ooh. They've got 2 more mana. Mikaeus for X=1. This gets a +1/+1 counter. I'm really hoping this sort of Mountain Dew and Doritos helps me break through this line soon. Yeah. Greater Reach Bandit. Everybody's in. Nice. We draw 3 more cards. Unfortunately, I cannot actually play this. I feel like we don't need Guardian Project here, so I'm going to drop it. Bye, Guardian Project! Oh, Mangara the Diplomat. That's gonna punish me whenever I attack with more than 1 creature, or play more than 1 card per turn. It is nighttime! And we're going to transform. So this is going to force transform any werewolves that I play that wouldn't otherwise be transformed. Let's go ahead and play the Forest. And I would love to capitalize on this, but I think I need to take out this Champion of Lambholt or Mikaeus. So right now, they have the ability to sacrifice Mikaeus and put the counters on everything else. Catilda is a safe bet for me to kill. So I'm gonna go for it. They have 3 mana here. Alright. I'm fine with this. Can I block? No. But will they be able to block? Also maybe no. Our creatures will very quickly be bigger than theirs. I have so much mana! I'm going to name Werewolf. Witchwolf? Werewolf? Why-wolf? Werewolf. Ulrich of the Crawling Horde is going to get really weird here. It enters the battlefield. I'm going to give my Packsong Pup +4/+4. And then it transforms from this thing. And it can fight. Who do we want to fight? I'm going to fight the champion of Lambholt. They're going to trade. But at least I can block now. Also, my Packsong Pup is huge! Look at this little guy! Okay, look at this not so little guy. Oh, woo! I'm swinging in! Hopeful Initiate I do want off the battlefield because it can destroy my Sword of Fortune Frontier if I manage to get it out. I know, and casting a second spell per turn. It's important to me, Mangara. Sure, transform it. It'll just transform right back, but still. It's now daytime. These flip back over. And they have 1 life. They have 1 life, a life linker, board buffer, protection from werewolves, but Glorybringer untaps next turn. Glorybringer untaps next turn. Ooh, a great henge. It's a pretty good henge. It does die to a braid, though. King Darien, giving everybody +1/+1, can be sacrificed to protect. But can't stop my dragon. Good game, Catilda. Atraxa, Grand Unifier, getter of cards, and big. She's really big. She's a 7-mana 7/7. Flying, Death Touch, Vigilance, Lifelink, and puts lots of cards into hand when she enters the battlefield. Atraxa is a card to be feared, and a card that's very, very easy for us to lose to. I'm going to play aggressively and try to get in underneath Atraxa, but it's going to be an uphill battle from turn 1. They went first. Let's start with the Packsong Pup. It's a wolf. It gets bigger over time. It's a good dog. It's also really, really cute. Look at this thing. He's just like, ooh, I'm a little guy. I want to pet his little soft tummy. I want to pet his little soft tummy. Oh, well, arrow to you too. It looks like they're going to be ramping here, sacrificing a land, their plains, and getting 2 more. If this is a counterspell that's been foretold, they'll get blue. They got blue. I think this is saw it coming. So, I guess that begs the question. Did we see it coming? I'm going to try to bait out the counterspell with something boring. It's not a counterspell. It didn't hold priority. Okay! We ramped. We played the Ulvenwald Captive. Probably means it doesn't extra turn spell. Oh, speaking of extra turn spells, hi Time Warp. All my homies hate Time Warp. Yes, shuffle your deck. Shuffle your deck. This is probably going to get them a Plains, since they got rid of their other one. Yep. Smothering Tithe now on top of the deck. Playing another Plains from the hand, and we... Tap. Cast. Cast again. This gets bigger, we swing in. I don't think they'll block. Unless that's a board wipe, then they will block. Okay. We drew a card. Tovolar's Huntmaster. Frustratingly, Traxxas can come out on 1 more land. Smothering Tithe! Hey, Smothering Tithe. Were to board wipe, they would have played it right there. We know they don't have a land on top of the deck. So I'm going to intentionally put a creature into my graveyard for Hilda. I know I love her so much, but... I will pay the 2. We're going to draw. We're going to pay the 2. Oh no, don't worry. I'm great at paying the 2. I just wanted to make sure we had that. Very important to me. Our wolves get bigger. We swing in. We draw 2 cards. Nightpack Ambusher and a Sword of Body and Mind. Sword of Body and Mind gives me unblockable creatures against Atraxa, since it gives me protection from green and blue, 2 colors she has. Still, not a land on top of their deck. We managed to keep them off of the Oracle of Moldiah, getting them a land, and them killing us with the big scary Atraxa. Who do you destroy? Tovolar? Okay, I'll come back later. Do I want to just go for the Sword of Body and Mind right now anyway? I do. I really, really do. I'm gonna throw it on the Masked Vandal. I'm going to attack in with these guys. They're down to 5 life. They have a Time Wipe on top of the deck. We know it because we can see it. Already played a land this turn, right? Yep. Okay, so it's gonna get... No, this gets drawn, and then their deck will get shuffled. We could shuffle it first with Beside You, but then they'd be able to play Atraxa. So I think we just pass. I feel like we've kind of forced them into the Time Wipe. Ooh, Omni! I hope you never get to cast that. Still think this is an extra turn, which they would need 1 more mana to cast because it would be the Alchemy version of it. Alrund's Epiphany costs 7, even if you foretold it. Farewell! Okay, so it was a board wipe. They're exiling artifacts, creatures, and graveyards. Huntmaster is the widest card I have. Nightpack Ambusher is the most surprising card I have. But Atraxa's coming out next turn, and none of those break through her line. This is probably the closest one. Am I simply dead and gone? Gotta go for Tovolar. Play at the commander. When in doubt, get the commander out. Mayor of Avabruck. Do you wipe the board? Or do you play your commander? Well, first they're going to take an extra turn. That gets them a couple of birds. Caw-caw. And though we got close, 5 is not 0. I feel like it's going to be a very rapid decline from this point forward. Especially as Atraxa gets cast and then puts a bunch of stuff into hand. Okay, so they actually just went for the destruction of everything. That actually gives me a little bit more of a chance because we do have some cards with haste in this deck. And some other cards that give haste. Okay, you make a 0-0. Congratulations, it died. Lana and Elena give haste. And a buff. It's not lethal. If it were nighttime, we actually would... Or, not nighttime. If this were somehow transformed, it would be lethal. We don't have it. But I did get them to 1. We got them to 1! The problem is, what do I do about this thing? What do we do about this gosh darn 7/7 that's on the battlefield? I think the answer is my best. I'm gonna play Tovolar's Huntmaster. And I'm going to give it haste. This way, they'll be encouraged to block this, but that was the wrong move, buddy boy! Because Alana and Elena have first strike. Oh, wait? Oh, they didn't lock it in. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead! I win! Wolves win! Ow! It's a battle between the Awu, Tovolar versus Tovolar. Our opponent is also running a Werewolves deck, which makes sense because guess what? Werewolves just got so many cool new cards. Everybody wants to try them out. Okay, well maybe I just want to try them out. And I'm going to equate my desires with everybody's desires because everybody should want to play wolves because they're fun. In this hand, I have got, in fact, werewolves, wolves, more werewolves, and more werewolves. It's great. We're going to do it. We also have a MDFC here, Tangled Forahegion, which I could either play as ramp or as land. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and drop my Packsong Pup on the battlefield here. This is a wee tiny Awu, a little wolf that gets bigger when we get wolves on the battlefield. I could play this Village Messenger, by the way. Try to get my wolves growing. But I'm just chilling, seeing my little werewolf, having a nice time, and setting up more mana because I did draw Cabaret Revels and Chandra, and it makes me feel like having more mana will be great. I'm gonna let them hit me here, and they are going to end up drawing a card. That's fine with me because here comes Chandra, Torch of Defiance. I could plus, get out my own Tovolar, or I could minus and get rid of their Tovolar. Be gone! I've got a very powerful Planeswalker on the battlefield. Yeah, I know, she's not a werewolf, but she supplements werewolves very, very nicely. This is just an incredibly good card to play in any deck that is heavily in red. We're a 2-color deck, more green than red, but still a very, very good amount of red. Oh, okay, an Invigorating Hot Springs. That's going to put +1/+1 counters on things. And any modified creature, there's multiple ways to modify, is going to give haste. I'm going to sacrifice my wolf here. Sorry, little puppy. To protect my creatures. And my Planeswalker. We're going to start with Cabaret Revels. This is just a great Gruul card. Then I'm going to play Beast Whisperer, which will get me any random creature out of my deck that costs, well, less than 4. I happen to get a pretty good one. Werewolf Packleader is a great card. And Clothius is a great card, too. This is just some Gruul good stuff right here. Ranger class gets them another dog. They are 1 short of Devotion for this. Ooh, do I want to protect the Chandra, or am I willing to make some sacrifices here? I really like my Beast Whisperer. I don't think I need the Chandra anymore, though, so I'm going to let her go. Goodbye, ma'am. And the Outland Liberator can destroy this soon. Yeah, you know how they have some Gruul good stuff? I've got some Gruul good stuff, too. I've got a Glorybringer right here. Glorybringer is going to get me a couple triggers. Ooh, Conduit of the Storm. And we drew Unnatural Moonrise. I'm going to exert, attack, and attack. We're going to destroy the Outland Liberator because I don't want it destroying my Cabaret Revels. Werewolf Packleader sees that I attack with more than 6 power, draws me a card. And I can even play that card. It's a forest. Conduit of the Storm's next turn, by the way, I do have the opportunity to transform it. But I probably won't. I don't know. It's fine. Fine is just a 2/3 that gets me some extra red mana. Ooh, Metallic Mimic. And a Howlpack Piper with haste because it came in with a +1/+1 counter. Very nice. They can pay 2 mana and cheat out creatures from their hand. Let's see, is it time for Tovolar? I think it might be. Let's see what I draw off the Beast Whisperer, and let's see what we cheat into play with the Cabaret Revels. Oh, Mirror of Avabruck! Oh, what a good card! We got another land here. I think I'll just move into combat. You know what? No. I think we can make it nighttime. No, I can't transform that off of nighttime. I'm just going to attack Werewolf Packleader and Conduit of Storms. Actually, just Werewolf Packleader. I don't need anything else. If I need to, I'll activate it, make it into a 5/3. To take out 2 things. Let's go for it. Nice. They exile from my graveyard, and they ping me for 2. Clothius is now an animated god. Tovolar is being given haste. And they're swinging in for 4. I don't need to block that. I'll just let it happen. Now we transform. By the way, because it's nighttime, it's also going to transform their cards. I can't transform this, by the way, if you're wondering why can't I do that. It's because it's not a human werewolf, it's a werewolf horror. We still get our Glorybringer in here. We have an Abrade. We even have a Natural Moonrise, Cemetery Prowler, and Haste Off the Village Messenger. We're set up for a really strong turn here, and our opponent's not going to be able to live through it. Good game, fellow Tovolar. It's time for an uphill battle because we're playing against Kaya Intangible Slayer. This is pretty much one of the most removal-heavy decks that anybody is going to be playing. Kaya Intangible Slayer is usually all about exiling and destroying your opponent's cards, and then very, very quickly overtaking the game by making copies and having very powerful planeswalkers without ever actually running their own creature-based threats. This Kaya has no excuse to not run tons of board wipes since she does not need any creatures to support her, just a bit of ramp and removal. We're going to play as aggressively as we can. And hopefully, we'll be able to get a win. Duskwatch Recruiter, I'm counting on you. Hinterland Logger, you got this. Wicked Wolf, Nightpack Ambusher, let's get this going. Alright, Inquisition of Kozilek, they're going to look at my hand and they're going to take out one of these cards. Which do you take? Inquisition of Kozilek can hit any of these three, but I have a turn 2 play no matter what they do. Hinterland Logger is definitely the fastest damage, assuming they don't do anything on their next turn, and Duskwatch Recruiter is just a nice card to have out. Okay, they hit the Recruiter, and we're gonna play the Logger. If you're thinking, Amy, why do you have this common werewolf in here? It's because it's a 4/2 for 2 mana, with Trample. And look! It's going to live until the next turn. Good for it. It's also going to draw me cards because I'm going to play Tovolar during my turn and swing in. We deal 2 damage and we get a land. Cool. Love that. Happen to draw a land. Means that we're going to be able to keep playing these cards on curve. Anguished Unmaking. Okay. They exiled my commander. They did also lose life. Anguished Unmaking, by the way, did just get added. It's got such good art. I'm sorry, Avacyn. I'm sorry, Avacyn. Navigation Orb, our opponent is filling up their hand with lands so they can get to Kaya as quickly as they can. Oh, yes, and it was reprinted as uncommon in Shadows over Innistrad Remastered. Good catch to the folks in the chat. Well, I want damage. So I'm going to play the Nightpack Ambusher. Yes, I will pay life for it. This gives +1/+1 to the Hinterland Logger. Do I think that they'll have something to do on my turn? Wow, they are definitely getting things. I have the Masked Vandal, so I can exile this to undo that bit of ramp. And hopefully keep them off of the Kaya next turn. They also have the other white source in hand. Are they playing it? Nope, they have a Godless Shrine. So no matter what, they can play Kaya next turn and they'll have the mana for it. That's tough. We're gonna name Werewolf here. A Woo. Just go for some card draw. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the card draw here. Tovolar comes out. You attack. Looking good. What do we get? Also Embereth. Nice. Damage. I have a feeling that they're going to play Kaya and exile the Nightpack Ambusher. They might exile Tovolar, but I feel like this is the better target, since it will make them tokens if they don't do anything on a turn. Grim Tutor, huh? They're actually just digging for something else. They could grab a prison sort of card that prevents me from dealing much damage. It is surprising to see them not play their commander this turn, though. A board wipe, something like Settle the Wreckage, Wrath of God. There's so many different options that they could get here. They lose 3 life. They're down to 10. And they're going to Languish. So yes, they went for a board wipe. Just taking out my 2 creatures. That's fine with me. Like, yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. But also, I accept it. I accept this bummer. Arcane Signet. Masked Vandal. Guardian Idol. Take out the Duskwatch Recruiter from my graveyard. Pass the turn. I'm playing what I consider to be like a very innocuous creature here. It's not that scary. It's not going to present a major threat here. Okay. They have a creature. Oh, would you look at that? I'm actually surprised they have a creature at all. Loran of the Third Path. Well then. Suppose I could kill that. They would be able to copy and use the Glorybringer to destroy one of my things. That's what I'm afraid of, though. Let's see. We could get Faceless Agent, Wicked Wolf. Let's go for the Wolf first. Woo! Not sure why I used the Secluded Courtyard there. I guess because I didn't have other things to cast. I only have so many green sources. This is naming Werewolf, by the way, and not Wolf. Do you want to sacrifice your Mind Stone? Okay, I guess you don't need it. We hit Loran. He's in the graveyard. We attack in for a grand 1 damage. Making a copy of Wicked Wolf? Not that good for them, since it's a 1/1. It's not that impressive. Here she comes, though. Kaya, Intangible Slayer, has Hexproof. I can't target her with anything. She's got a +2, just drains life. -3, exiles and makes a copy. And a 0 cost, which just draws them a bunch of cards. Oh, hello, Wicked Wolf. Aren't you cute? Aren't you cute? But hopefully, you will be dead. I'm going to exert attacking Kaya and destroying the Wicked Wolf. Kaya's off the battlefield. They are able to recast her on 1 more mana. Fingers crossed. No land. No lands? Please, no lands? They're tapping for something colorless. Karn! Okay, well, Karn will probably find them a land. I imagine they'll plus. What do they find? I get to choose which card. Okay, it's either a land or a land. I'll give you the land. I know, crazy, right? They've got 5 mana left. What I could really use is some haste. But what I really don't have is haste. I'm gonna cast the Faceless Agent to start and see what I can get out of my deck. It's gonna give me a random werewolf. Ah, the Mayor! Give myself a little buff. Attack in. And unfortunately, Kaya's going to be able to come out and make a copy of the Glorybringer next turn. Something kind of cute about this is the Glorybringer copy won't be able to deal damage to either of these cards. If they choose to attack and exert with it, these are both dragons, and Glorybringer cannot deal damage to dragons. I know. The weird thing of shapeshifters. Okay, they plus Karn again. Elspeth's Nightmare and Ugin the Ineffable. I'll give them Elspeth's Nightmare, but these are both really, really scary cards for me to see. I am going to hope that they exert this thinking they can deal the damage. Yep, alright, that's what they did. They exerted thinking they could do the damage, but you can't. Because that's not how it works. I love that. I love when cards work the way I want them to, and not the way my opponents want them to. I'm going to bring back the Mayor. I'm going to Domri's Ambush. Doesn't matter what I hit. I'm not gonna swing in. Bringing them to 1. The danger. Kaya gains them life. The other danger. Lugan. But, part of the cards? Have to believe in it. I got a question of why the exert didn't work. Well, it did work. They exerted, and then they dealt 4 damage to a non-dragon creature. there were no non-dragon creatures. So they just couldn't do anything. They make a 2/2. Gold Steel Heart, they're casting it for free. The problem is Kaya gaining this life here. I have a small buff off Castle Embereth, but it uses up almost all of my mana. Okay. I can give one of these Trample, and then I think it's still lethal. So we're going to use Unnatural Moonrise on our Faceless Agent. It's nighttime! We attack in. We've got 4 trampling damage, 1 non-trampling damage. We're going to increase the total damage by 2. And that is enough to end the game. Good game, Kaya, Intangible Slayer. Soul of Windgrace is our opponent's commander. This looks like an okay hand for me. A little slow, but it's got 3 mana. It's got a wolf. It'll do just fine. Also has some card draw for later on. Soul of Windgrace is a feature that's all about bringing back lands from graveyards. This card can be played as, well, very, very scary with land destruction. It's definitely able to be a strong control deck, or it could be a bit more of a mid-rangey landfall deck. I won't be able to tell until our opponent starts casting more spells. Okay, Valakut Exploration. Nice. That's some landfall right there. Aw, Elvish Mystic. Elvish Mystic could not come out to play. Tovolar! On turn 3, we've got a wolf token. It counts as a wolf, and we'll draw a card when we deal damage. Boom. I know this is not a werewolf, but sometimes you just need a Bone Crusher Giant in your deck. And sometimes your Bone Crusher Giant gets discarded because it's the only valid target for Inquisition of Kozilek. Alright, they get out Soul of Windgrace. There's no lands for them to bring out from the graveyard, but now there is a Soul of Windgrace on the battlefield, which is a really strong card. You could have blocked. They do not trade. I get to deal my damage, get to draw a card, and since I don't have anything to cast on 2 mana, I'll play Lair of the Hydra. And Tovolar transforms. It's nighttime. See? Nighttime! Ooh, that's a great henge. Dang, I wish I had a henge that good. I don't have a henge that good. I have one in the deck, but it's not out on the battlefield. Valakut Exploration upon the land sees another card. Okay, Field of Ruin. They can't play 2 lands per turn right now. Got mana. Got enough for Escape to the Wilds, even. I'm just going to go to combat. Attack in with Tovolar. Make my werewolf grow. I can give it trample if they block. I didn't think they would, though. We get another land! Yay, lands! I'm going to play the Howlpack Piper. Howlpack Piper lets me essentially cheat out werewolves from my deck if it's daytime. We do have a Helena and Elena. I would love a Helena and Elena. Because I have essentially too many cards in hand and I have too much card draw, I'm going to drop Guardian Project. I have card draw established through my current cards. Also, I don't want to discard lands because then when Soul of Windgrace enters the battlefield to attack, they'll be able to get more lands, and I don't want them to. These are my lands. You can't have them. If it remains nighttime, if they do not cast 2 spells, I'm playing Avabruck Caretaker on my turn. Because it's insanely good, especially at night. Oh, okay, now they have a land in the graveyard. They might want to start attacking with the Soul of Windgrace. And just to prevent it from staying night, it will turn night again if these are all alive. They might want to cast the Dark Ritual. It would be kind of bad, though. Daytime, nighttime, nighttime, daytime. It would become day and then immediately become night, if I remember right. Dark Ritual. Got 4 mana. Spring Bloom Dryad. That's going to go ahead and sacrifice a land. Get Rock Monster likes this. They're drawing cards. They're getting the goods. 2 more lands enter the battlefield. Valakut Exploration is going to deal a lot of damage to me at the end of this turn. Oh, a Blood on the Snow. Thank goodness that's going to be gone. 4 cards go into exile. Or sorry, into the graveyard? Yeah, cool. It became daytime and then it became nighttime very rapidly. Let's see, we've got a Hasty Werewolf. We've got First Strikey turns into Menace Werewolf. That's cool. Most importantly, it's nighttime. And because it's nighttime, we're going to play Avabruck Caretaker. She's going to give everything hexproof and put 2+1/+1 counters on each creature. So good. So good! They traded. I take it. It's still nighttime. I cast 1 spell. Whoa, look at that crazy art! It's the Stomping Ground from Unfinity. Hi, Vivian! Vivian lets them cast creatures off the top of their deck, or can just spit out some lovely little beast tokens. I'm really hoping that it actually is daytime for 1 turn, so I can spit out just a ton of creatures using the Wild Song. Or I guess Howlpack Piper. They're the same card, it's just a different side. Okay, it's now daytime. Oh my god, it's... Is it ever going to be daytime? I am going to cast a card here, or a spell. Here we go. Great Henge. Start cheating things into play. Huntmaster. It's a werewolf. We untap. We also get some Moraloo. Moraloo just for you. Let's do it again. We tap. And put into play. Reach Bandit. It's a werewolf, so we untap. Also draw a card. You know what? I think we should do it one more time. Halana and Elena! Into play. Gets a +1/+1 counter. Looking good. Who do we want to make absolutely massive this turn? You, Huntmaster. And you, Garbage Bandit. Nice. You guys, swing in. Straight at the face. Who wants a +1/+1 counter? You do. I know Halana and Elena aren't werewolves, but they can hang. Sometimes you just need some women to hang out with your dogs. She's the dog sitter. They're blocking. And they're not dying. But they did take a hit. They took 4 to the face. They can discard and draw here. I'm still afraid of them having like a super explosive turn. So far it's been fairly tame. My hand is still completely full from the Great Henge. We've got creatures for days. This is very much a creature-based deck. Oh! Oh! Okay! Our opponent has minused their Vivian, which means that they're going to be able to get any creature that costs less than 8 onto the battlefield. They chose Corvold, who sacrifices and draws. But also, the Sundering Titan is going to destroy a couple lands. They're going to choose my forest, my mountain. Actually, they might choose, like, my mountain. And then they have to choose their swamp. So, I don't know, their swamp. Nice. Corvold has a couple +1/+1 counters. 1 from the sacrifice, 1 from the henge. It's a big dragon. And by the way, that destruction of land is going to happen again when this thing attacks. So I think we should go for the big swing this next turn. Ooh, why do you want treasure? I'll block with my first striker so no damage gets marked. Landfall! Valky! I'm planning on just using Vivian Reed. And, no, it's not on attack, sorry. It's when it leaves the battlefield. I was gonna say, when it gets destroyed is when it triggers again. That's why I don't want to kill it with Vivian unless it guarantees me lethal. Oh, no! Casualties of War. Almost every mode. Everything but a Planeswalker. I only have like one little crappy creature here. Got you. Domri. I'm going to use Domri to kill Soul of Windgrace. And I have to actually order things right. We'll see if we can. Perfect. We had lethal. We put the Avabruck Caretaker buff on Helana and Elena, which then moves her buff onto whatever of these we want. We swing in, we're dealing way more than 16 damage, even with 2 blocks. Good game, Soul of Windgrace. Our opponent is playing Marwyn the Nurturer, an Elves commander who taps for mana equal to her power. She gets bigger whenever you have a elf enter the battlefield, so she starts as a 1/1, but she very quickly taps for tons and tons of mana. There's a couple cards that work really well with her too, because they untap an elf you control, and if you're untapping Marwyn using something like Freyalise, she ends up generating a lot of mana per turn. Alright. Thankfully, I have a way to kill her. I'm going to start, though, by offering them a trade. Would you like to trade your Paradise Druid for my Duskwatch Recruiter? The answer was no. Okay, let's see. Do you have a way to protect Marwyn? The answer was no. I'll play the Highland Forest and pass the turn. If you're wondering, why didn't I do it on their turn? I didn't want them to be able to tap this for mana. Ooh, Oracle of Moldiah. I see a Leaf Gilder on top of their deck. And once again, I am attacking in. More damage. I'll let it transform. I want to get my transformations happening. It is now the backside of this doggy. Bark, bark. Which means that my creature spells will cost 1 less to cast, which is great because I've got 3 of them in my hand and my commander's 1 too. Nice. Marwyn the Nurturer comes back onto the battlefield. That's a Chroma's frickin' Memorial. You should attack me. You should attack. Ah, they're too smart for us. They didn't attack into the Nightpack Ambusher, even though I really wanted them to. I'm going to play Tovolar. I'm going to attack in. See what I draw. Land and into the north. Okay. I missed out on drawing by not playing this before the Tovolar, but getting the Beast Whisperer out just feels really good. Also, these are going to transform again on my next turn, assuming that all 3 of these are still alive, because 3 wolves and or werewolves. I'm afraid of the Chroma's Memorial, though. I do have a little bit more artifact and enchantment destruction, but not like a lot of it. Not a lot, just a little. Faceless Agent that's going to seek an elf from their deck. And we transform and become a bunch of cool dogs. I can give some trample, but haste sounds nice too. Rhythm of the Wild, we play the Hinterland Logger and the Tenacious Pup. We go haste. Straight to the face. Draw some cards, win the game. Beat the elves. Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord. Oftentimes a life gain commander. Sometimes vampires. Sometimes just clerics. I've seen a lot of different decks helmed by Sorin. But because Sorin gives you life gain, well, makes sense. Reanimation works too. Alright, we're gonna start with Turn Timber. Playing it as a land, not paying the 3 because I'm not actually doing anything on turn 1. Ooh. They foretold something. What could they have foretold? Doesn't matter. Getting some red mana. Highland Forest comes into play tapped. We've got such beautiful mana. But I don't know what to expect from my opponent. Gonna play Domri? Okay, I'm going to generate some mana off my Domri. Going Ranger class. I have a 3-2 wolf. Awoo. And now I don't. Now it's a 2-2 wolf. Because they killed Domray. They fractured him. Smooshed him into little pieces. Oh, hi, Gonti. Gonti's gonna steal a card from my deck. Just to guess, it's gonna be a wolf or a werewolf, because that's what most of my deck is. It's mostly wolves and werewolves. There are some good cards, too, that they could take, but it's a lot more likely that they just see wolves, werewolves, and lands. But you can't play lands off Gonti. They're looking at the cards and they're like, wait a minute. This is trash. I don't want any of these cards. Too bad. That's all you're getting. We're going to upgrade our Ranger class, get a Tovolar, attack in with our 2-2. It becomes a 3-3, and... do you block? Or do I get to draw a card? They blocked. They could bring that back with Sorin, but I'm hoping that they don't. And they just let me live my happy, peaceful werewolf ways. The Celestus! Wait, is that from my deck? They stole my Celestus! I'm not very happy about that. I can destroy it with Vivian. I might have to. I'm going to attack in to start. I actually could have also attacked in with the Mutavault, but I think this is fine. We draw. We get Command Tower. I'm going to cast Vivian, use her to destroy the Celestus. And I want to point out that they will be able to use Crawling Barrens to kill Vivian next turn. I accept this. I understand this. And if they do that, they're probably not casting a spell, which would be great for me because then it's nighttime. Oh, it's the Silly Bell Hunt. Okay, I'll drop Secluded Courtyard. I don't need that land. Silly Basilica. B+, we get some sort of a creature or land. Ooh, and a woo. I'll start with an attack. Get on in there. Deal 5, draw a card. Nice, Nightpack Ambusher. I'm gonna use Castle Garenbrig to get more creature mana. Use the first batch of creature mana for Cemetery Prowler to take the creature out of their graveyard so they can't bring it back with Sorin. That's going to further discount the rest of my creatures so I can play Tovolar's Huntmaster. 6/6 comes with 2 2/2s. 2 2/2s. I don't know where he's wearing the 2/2s. Like, I don't see any 2/2s in the art. Looks more like a tunic, honestly. I get a land. Ambitious Farmhand gets a plains out of their deck, puts it into their hand. Gives them more mana, more fun. And the card that was foretold was Doomscar! All my creatures are dead. Sort of. I've got a Mutavault here. We're gonna plus on Vivian once again, and... This gives me the fastest damage, but instead I'm just gonna get the lands here. Going to play... Tovolar. Animate the Mutavault, because it is a werewolf. Swing in. It gets a +1/+1 counter. Yay! And I get to draw a card. Yay! Ooh, Laird Hydra. Could have waited to play that land. I get itchy. I want to play all the cards in my hand. Elspeth Conquers Death. Probably taking out Vivian, since Tovolar can just be replayed. They do have creatures in a graveyard, which they could reanimate. And will be taxed next turn. Gonna go for Mutavault again. But I'm also going to... get at the Nightpack Ambusher. Use the Mass Vandal. To exile Elspeth Conquers Death. And then we swing in! Keep putting it on the Mutavault. I actually really like having my creature land get buffed over and over. We're gonna draw some cards. 1, 2. Aw, we got the puppy! I could go for more creatures. But since I feel like we already have lethal, I'm just gonna hold back and have a Bone Crusher Giant. Oh, we win. Gaming. Nice. Bowser is playing Minsk and Boo, Timeless Heroes, and a powerful man and his hamster. Minsk and Boo spits out a boo every turn, if you don't already have a boo. Buffs up creatures with trample or haste, and deals a lot of damage really, really fast that's hard to deal with, because Minsk and Boo, no matter what, is going to be a 2-for-1. This is a very, very good card that gets out of control super fast. So we're going to have to play super fast as well to try and keep control of the board. We did go first, which is going to make a pretty big difference. Also, we have the Sword of Mountain Dew and Doritos, which is going to make an even bigger difference because it means we'll have protection from their deck, which I like. But until I have 5 mana, I'd rather just deal some damage, try and draw some cards, try and get some lands. Ooh, a Gruul Spellbreaker! That's a little bit too big for me. Sort of. I'm going to attack in here. And they're going to think, well, what do you have? Could you have Embercleave? Could you have maybe a Bolt and you're just trying to get some extra damage through? Maybe you're desperate to draw a card. What could this person have? And which of these do I block? Either way, it would have been a trade. Nightpack Ambusher gives +1/+1 to my other wolves. And on entering the battlefield here, or well, I guess for cast, I get a +1/+1 counter on this. I still get to draw a card. I'm hoping for land. Glorybringer. I'll take a Glorybringer. I will take a Glorybringer. Prosperous Innkeeper comes in and makes a treasure and will gain them life when creatures enter the battlefield under their control. It's just a happy little guy. Hardened Scales is going to give more +1/+1 counters. I could go for killing that Prosperous Innkeeper, but I don't think that would do very much. So instead, Sword of Forge and Frontier, or Mountain Dew and Doritos, as I prefer. Nightpack Ambusher can't be blocked. Ascendant Packleader can be blocked. What do we get? Well, they're not lands. But I do have an untouchable wolf, and that's going to be enough to win me the game. The Sword of Blink and Blanks sure are good cards. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. This episode was actually really easy for me to record because I won 13 games in a row, and I only recorded 13 matches. So, to show off what this deck was doing behind the scenes in the videos that didn't make it into the clips here, stay until after my little outro and you'll get to see them. As always, I hope that you'll come by my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Amazonian, so you can see what it's like when we're recording these, and, I don't know, hang out. I've been playing lots of limited games. I'm great at drafting, and we're going to have Cube Draft coming to Arena very, very soon, and I can't wait to draft it with you, hopefully in my chat. Please, come on over. All right, well, let's cut to the concedes. Do I have any dead wolves? I do have a dead wolf, because they traded super early. Nice. Okay. So it turns out that would have been a pretty bad game for the video anyway. In the Village Messenger. The message I'm sending is, I have 1/1s too. Oh, and apparently we won. Because they never got red mana. Good for us. Also, for anybody who's caught up on the story, sorry about the Tameos. Oh, okay, well, great. Runebound Wolf. It's a 2/2. And since we went first, that's probably going to mean that we're going to be able to play Tovolar next turn and attack in. Unless they've got some counter magic, some ways to bounce this. You know, interaction. Oh, or that could happen. Oh, hello, Tulane. Something really nice about this Chandra, by the way, is that she helps me play this Chandra. Awakened Inferno. We're going to go ahead and use the -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, kill the Tulane, and eventually our Chandras and our Werewolves are going to do enough work that we're going to win this game. Nice.